Joy Reid's really a sad person. She was on Top of the World, and then she blew it over on MSNBC. But she gave a podcast interview yesterday, and in the podcast interview, she gave what very well is the most bizarre analysis I have ever heard in regards to what's going on in Minneapolis. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Here's Joy Reid.
This woman was part of a group of people who they trained to try to be ICE interrupters. And what they try to do is observe what ICE is doing, film them, and try to use their white privilege, to be honest. They're mainly white people.
Which is what we ask.
Which is what we ask them to do, right? Because black people, like, we can't put our bodies on the line because cops will shoot us. And so the presumption had been, particularly a white woman, because remember, part of the rationale for doing this with ICE is to save white women, pristine white women, from being ravaged by, criminal brown men.
I mean, this is so, like with Tim. Now, this is a little different than Tim Walz because he's the sitting governor. But what when J.D. Vance said, he filled in for Charlie Kirk. After Charlie Kirk's assassination, the first Charlie Kirk show was hosted by J.D. Vance at the White House. And that was a great show. And he said a lot of important things. But one of the things that J.D. Vance said, and may have been the most important thing he said, it's certainly what I remember the most from the show, is that there's no meeting of the minds with the left anymore. There really isn't. There's no agreement. There's no give and take. They're lost. And we have this tragedy. And what are you hearing from Joy Reid here? You're reading this is nuts what she's saying. She's saying that Renee Good went and did what she did because she thought her white privilege would protect her. So they put her at the front line to protect all these brown people.
So white women, have been taking the lead in being the ones to step forward and challenge ICE and to say, as white people, we can step to ICE and step to police in a different way. In this case, this white woman and her wife, who's also a white woman, were driving in an SUV. They parked to try to block ICE from snatching people out of a suburban neighborhood. This was not like on the mean streets in Minneapolis. This was in a suburb.
Yeah,
with,
the
like,
neighbor
houses.
was a doctor.
The neighbor's a doctor. This is a quiet white suburb. So they're driving and they park. The ICE agents come up to the car. They get out of the car and to shorten it, they bang on her door and tell her, get out of the car. They order her to get out of the car. She panics and starts to back up to get away. And one of the ICE officers, Jonathan Ross, shot 3 times into the car, shot her in the face and killed her. The reason I think this is significant and is different from the previous shootings is, to me, this is a George Floyd moment.
And not far from
where that happened, right?
See, everything with Joy Reid is a George Floyd moment. See what I mean about no meeting of the minds?